You're all requested to take your seats, please. The chief guest is about to arrive. Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to the inaugural session of the 125-year celebration of Duty Society. Myself, Professor Pammi Manchanda, Chairman, Department of Mathematics, Guru Nanak Dev University, and Noor Zehra, Assistant Professor from Sharda University, will be conducting the inaugural session. You are all requested to keep your mobile phones on silent mode or switch them off, please. The students from Aligarh Muslim University who have to sing National Anthem and AMU Trana, please come to the dais. The chief guest, Honorable Vice President of India, Mr. Mohammad Hamid Ansari, is about to enter, and as soon as he enters, I request everyone to stand on their seats, please. All are requested to stand, please. The Honorable Vice President of India, Mr. Mohammad Hamid Ansari, is entering the hall. He's entering the hall. Please stand. We will begin the inaugural session with national anthem. Please stand.
Please stand and sing with us.
And sing with us, please. All of you join.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा जब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाए तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you, please. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the 125th anniversary celebration of the Duty Society. Most of you are well acquainted with the Duty Society, but for the sake of younger generation and guests, I would like to tell you briefly about the society. It was established in 1890 by the efforts of a young student of Mayo College under the guidance of Professor T.W. Arnold, who was also the first keeper of the society. This young man, named Mr. Aftab Ahmad Khan, was subsequently appointed the third Vice-Chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University. Professor Arnold later joined Oriental College, Lahore, where Iqbal, the famous Urdu poet, was one of his students. The Duty Society was established with the objective of spreading modern education and making it accessible to those who could not afford it, in spite of their interest and talent. It has been a broad-based touristic organization supported by donors of different faiths since its inception. It has greatly benefited Indian Muslims as well as fellow Indians, and this exhibits the true spirit and touristic ethos of India. The Duty Society has strived to promote a sense of patriotism and has spread effectively Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's message of reliance on reason, scientific inquiry and attitude, liberty of conscience and freedom of expression, tolerance, hard work, and secular pluralistic approach in all spheres of human relationship, practicing mutual respect. Many eminent educationists and philanthropists have been associated with the society during the last 125 years. We are extremely happy to welcome the chief guest, Honorable Mr. Muhammad Hamid Ansari, Vice President of India. The Honorable Chief Guest started his career as a lecturer in the Department of Political Science in Aligarh Muslim University and then qualified the Civil Service Examination with rank 4 and joined Indian Foreign Services in 1961. In his career as a seasoned diplomat, he served as ambassador to United Arab Emirates from 1976 to 80. Subsequently, he has held several prestigious assignments, such as ambassador to Afghanistan, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and High Commissioner to Australia. He was a permanent representative of India to United Nations. In May 2002, he was appointed as Vice Chancellor of his alma mater, Aligarh Muslim University. After relinquishing office of Aligarh Muslim University Vice Chancellorship, he joined as visiting professor at Jawaharlal Nehru University and the Academy for Third World Studies, Jamia Millia Islamia. He was awarded Padma Shri in 1984 and appointed chairman to Statutory National Commission for Minorities in 2006. He was elected as Vice President of India on July 20th, 2007, the post which he continues to hold till today. We are indeed honored, sir, that you could spare your valuable time and accede to our request of being chief guest today. I am happy to note that the centenary function of the Duty Society was organized in 1989 in this very hall. The centenary volume entitled Aligarh Muslim University, Contributions and Achievements was released on this occasion. It was an humble effort to record contributions and achievements of individuals associated with AMU over time. The 2014 updated edition of this book will be presented to the chief guest, Honorable Vice President of India today. With this brief introduction, I now invite Keeper of the Society, Professor A.H. Siddiqui, to deliver welcome speech. He is a distinguished mathematician and contributed tremendously to the association with Duty Society since 1985 as Keeper. He is President of Indian Society of Industrial and Applied Mathematics, which could not have functioned efficiently without the support of Duty Society. He is also Chief Editor of a prestigious book series of Springer Verlag, a leading scientific publisher, and his detailed biodata is given in the book which has been circulated already. Professor Siddiqui, please.
Honorable Vice President of India, Mr. Muhammad Hamid Ansari, Dr. Nadeem Tareen, President of the Duty Society, Mr. P.K. Gupta, Chancellor, Sharda University, members of the Duty Society, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome all of you at the 125th anniversary function of the Duty Society, AMU. Duty Society is a registered voluntary organization founded a quarter of a century before establishment of Aligarh Muslim University. This society had made all possible efforts to create a center of higher education now known as the Aligarh Muslim University. In fact, an amount of rupees 30 lakh was collected by the Duty Society to get the charter of AMU. It is on record that Duty Society contributed significantly to the annual budget of MAO College. The Duty Society has contributed towards the construction of fairly good number of buildings at AMU, such as University Mosque, Asman Manzil, Stretchy Hall, Victoria Gate, Proctor Office, Suleiman Hall. It had collected huge fund for establishing engineering college and medical college at AMU and construction of other buildings between 1930 and 1960, besides giving huge sum of money as interest-free loans to needy and deserving students. However, the society was dormant during 1960 to 85 due to one reason or the other. A spirit for donation to the development project of AMU was revived by the effort of Duty Society around 1986. Functions were organized in different parts of India and abroad to enhance this spirit. Fruitful results were visible. Nadeem Tareen Hall is a typical example. Details of services rendered by the Duty Society during 125 years are given in the articles by Professor Muhammad Shafi, former Pro-Chancellor, first published in 2004, and Dr. Ishrat Qureshi, ex-additional university librarian, that appeared first in 1992. Both articles are printed in the booklet distributed in this hall. We are extremely grateful that Honorable Vice President of India, Mr. Hamid Ansari, has kindly accepted our invitation to grace this occasion in spite of his extremely busy schedule. All along its existence, the Duty Society has focused on weaker sections of India. It has always endeavored to propagate contemporary trends in education. Modern technical education brings prosperity to any section of a nation, and therefore a seminar on the theme Educational Development of Weaker Sections in India has been organized as part of 125th anniversary function. Distinguished educationists, scientists, engineers, medical experts, and philanthropists have accepted our invitation and have spared their valuable time to benefit us by their valuable advice. We are grateful to all, but especially those who have traveled from far-off places in India and abroad. The proceedings of the conference may provide guidelines to the Duty Society for drawing future roadmap of its activities. I would like to conclude by giving one advice to future generation of the Duty Society on this historic event. On the basis of my experience of working with well-known institutions in the world, I strongly feel that education and training of emerging technologies, creating job opportunities and prosperity is lacking among weaker sections of a nation. The society must focus on this issue more vigorously. I hope that learned speakers in other sessions will throw light on this problem and may suggest remedial measures to remove or minimize this deficiency. I am quite sure that functionaries of the Duty Society will take up this issue more effectively. It is an uphill task, but let us pledge to do something in this area. In the end, I thank all of you for sparing your valuable time to attend this function in this bad weather, I should say. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, Professor Siddiqui, for your warm welcome. I now invite Dr. Nadeem Tareen, President of the Duty Society, to deliver his presidential speech. We are all well acquainted with his philanthropic activities. He is the one person in the Aligarh Muslim University history who has donated maximum constructed space for AMU students. He has extended support to various education institutions in various parts of India and Saudi Arabia for promoting education among weaker sections. He runs several education institutions himself and now has planned to establish a University of Science and Technology of international standard. The deliberations of the seminar, which follows the inaugural session, will provide him ample input to plan the educational institution of his dreams. I would also like to mention here that he is an engineer by profession and involved in construction business in India and abroad. Dr.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulil kareem. Izzat Maab Janab Naib Sadr Jamhuriya Hamid Ansari Sahab, Janab Gupta Sahab, Vice Chancellor of Sharda University, Abul Hasan Siddiqui Sahab, میرے بہت سے پروفیسرز جو علی گڑھ مسلم یونیورسٹی میں ہم لوگوں کو پڑھاتے رہے ہیں، اور میرے عزیز ساتھیوں اور بھائیوں اور بہنوں، میں زیادہ بہتر سمجھتا ہوں کہ اپنی مادری زبان میں اپنے جذبات کا اظہار آپ لوگوں کے سامنے کر سکوں۔ گو کہ انگلش اور انگریزی زبان وقت کی ضرورت ہے، اور اسی کو سر سید علیہ الرحمہ نے 150 سال پہلے محسوس کیا تھا کہ انگریزی زبان اور ماڈرن تعلیم اور سائنس اس قوم کے لیے اور اس ملک کے لوگوں کے لیے کتنی زیادہ ضروری ہے۔ اس سوسائٹی کا قیام، جیسا کہ ابھی کیپر سوسائٹی نے بتایا، تقریباً 125 سال پہلے عمل میں آیا، اور میں سمجھتا ہوں کہ یہ کسی بھی قوم کے لیے ایک سرمایہ ہے کہ اگر اس کے لوگوں میں اتنا ہوش ہو اور وہ یہ جان سکیں کہ سوشل آرگنائزیشنز کی کتنی زیادہ ضرورت ہے ملک کو اور قوم کو۔ ایسی سوسائٹیز اور ایسی آرگنائزیشنز جو مذہب و ملت سے اوپر ہو کر صرف ضرورت مند لوگوں کے لیے وقت پر ان کی مدد کرتی ہیں، ان کی اشد ضرورت ہے، اور ساتھ ہی اس میں کام کرنے والوں کی اشد ضرورت ہے۔ میں مبارکباد دیتا ہوں اب سے پہلے کہ ان تمام لوگوں کو کہ جو خاص طور پر ڈیوٹی سوسائٹی سے منسلک رہے، اور اس کے علاوہ بھی ان تمام لوگوں کو جو اس طرح کی سوشل آرگنائزیشن سے منسوب ہیں۔ جتنی کی ضرورت اب سے 150 سال پہلے اس کام کی تھی، اس سے کہیں زیادہ ضرورت اب اس بات کی ہے۔ اس فنکشن کا اس محفل کے منعقد کرنے کا مین مقصد یہی تھا کہ ہم اپنے ساتھیوں کو یہ بات باور کرا سکیں، اپنے ملک کے دوسرے دوستوں کو، احباب کو یہ بات باور کرا سکیں کہ سوشل ورک اور تعلیم کی کیا اہمیت ہے۔ اب وقت یہ آ گیا ہے کہ ہمیں نکل کر جہاں جہاں، خاص طور پر علی گڑھ مسلم یونیورسٹی سے جو لوگ تعلیم یافتہ ہیں یا دوسرے اداروں سے جو لوگ نکلے ہیں، ان کو اس بات کی ضرورت ہے کہ وہ باہر نکلیں اور وہ لوگ جن تک تعلیم کی روشنی نہیں پہنچی ہے ان کے ماں باپ تک جا کر پرسویٹ کریں اور ان کو بتائیں کہ دیکھیے آنے والا وقت جو ہے وہ کس ڈائریکشن میں جا رہا ہے، کس سمت جا رہا ہے اور کس طرح آپ کو اپنے بچوں کو بھیجنا ہے۔ ابھی ایسے ادارے موجود ہیں، مجھے بڑا فخر ہے کہ محترم حامد انصاری صاحب یہاں تشریف رکھتے ہیں اور ان کی مسز سلمہ آپا نے اتنا عمدہ ایک اسکیم چلائی ہوئی ہے کہ جس میں جو غریب بچے ہیں جن کے اوپر کہ 50 روپے بھی ان لوگوں سے نہیں لیے جاتے، ان کا کنسنٹریشن تھا کہ جو کوڑا بیننے والے لوگ ہیں، جو ریلوے لائن کے اوپر چلنے والے لوگ ہیں، ان کے بچوں کو کس طریقے سے اس فولڈ میں داخل کیا جائے، اور وہ اس اپنی محنت میں کس قدر کامیاب ہوئیں اور پھر ان کے ساتھ کس طرح لوگ جڑتے گئے جو ان کے ساتھ ان کے سوچ سے، ان کی فکر سے ہم آہنگ ہوئے، اور دیکھتے ہی دیکھتے 3 اسکولز ایسے انہوں نے قائم کیے کہ جو ان بچوں کی ضروریات پوری کر رہے ہیں، اور ساتھ میں اس میں سے ایسے بچے نکل کر آ رہے ہیں کہ جو ڈی پی ایس علی گڑھ میں یا علی گڑھ مسلم یونیورسٹی میں یا عائشہ ترین ماڈرن پبلک اسکول میں اور دوسرے اس طرح کے پریسٹیجیس اسکولز میں داخلہ لے رہے ہیں اور وہاں پر اپنا نام روشن کر رہے ہیں۔ تو کوشش اس بات کی کرنی چاہیے کہ ہم جہاں کہیں بھی رہیں، اگر ہمارا اپائنٹمنٹ ہوتا ہے کہیں پر 2 مہینے کے لیے، 2 سال کے لیے، 20 سال کے لیے، یا ہم جس بستی کے رہنے والے ہیں اگر کسی بھی جگہ ہم باہر نکل گئے ہیں تو اپنی بستی میں لوٹ کر آئیں اور وہاں اس بات کی کوشش کریں کہ ہماری بستی کے لوگوں کا کیا نظریہ ہے، ان لوگوں کا تعلیم کے بارے میں کیا سوچنا ہے، اور ان کے اس سوچ کو بدلنے کی کوشش کریں۔ یہی مقصد تھا ڈیوٹی سوسائٹی کے قیام کا، اور یہی مقصد تھا علی گڑھ مسلم یونیورسٹی کے قیام کا کہ یہاں سے نکلنے والے طالب علم ایک نئی روشنی دے سکیں، ملک کو ایک نئی ڈائریکشن دے سکیں۔ میں سمجھتا ہوں یہ بہترین موقع ہے ہم سب کے لیے اس سوچ و فکر کا کہ کس طرح ہمیں اپنی نئی نسل کو آگے بڑھانا ہے، کس طرح ہمیں حکومت کا ساتھ دینا ہے۔ اگر ہم اپنی عوام کو پڑھانے کا، ہائر ایجوکیشن کا اور اس کے ساتھ ساتھ عام تعلیم کا انتظام کرتے ہیں تو یہ یقیناً حکومت وقت کی مدد ہوگی اور پورے ملک کی مدد ہوگی۔ اس سے ہم ملک کو آگے بڑھانے کا کام کر سکیں گے، اور میں سمجھتا ہوں اس سے علی گڑھ مسلم یونیورسٹی سے فارغ التحصیل لوگوں سے زیادہ والنٹیئرز کہیں نہیں ہو سکتے اور کہیں بہتر نہیں ہو سکتے۔ ہمیں اس شمع کو قائم رکھنا ہے جو سر سید علیہ الرحمہ نے جلائی تھی، اور ان کا وہ موومنٹ جو انہوں نے آج سے 150 سال پہلے دیکھا تھا کہ کس طرح قوم میں ایسے لوگ پیدا ہوں کہ اس موومنٹ کو آگے بڑھائیں۔ ہم اس موومنٹ کو آگے بڑھانے کا یہاں سے عہد کر جائیں اور یہ کوشش کریں کہ جہاں کہیں بھی ہوگی تعلیم کی ایکسیلنس اور ساتھ ساتھ تعلیم کو عام کرنا، دونوں پر ہماری پوری توجہ ہوگی، اور اس کے ساتھ ساتھ جو ایک اور مقصد تھا سر سید کا کہ کس طرح ہم ہندو مسلم دونوں میں آپس میں میل جول پیدا کر سکیں، کس طرح ہندوستان کے ماحول میں رہ کر یہ دونوں قومیں ترقی کر سکتی ہیں، اس بھائی چارے کو، اس محبت کو، اس کو اور زیادہ پروان چڑھائیں اور یہ بتائیں کہ ہم دونوں میں کوئی فرق نہیں ہے، ہم سب اصل ہندوستانی ہیں اور صرف اور صرف ہندوستان کی ترقی کے لیے کام کرتے ہیں۔ ہمارا مقصد زندگی کا یہ ہے کہ ہم کس طرح سے اپنے ملک کا نام روشن کر سکیں، کس طرح اپنے مذہب کے دائرے میں رہتے ہوئے اس سب کا اہتمام کرتے ہوئے کس طرح محبت اور بھائی چارے کو فروغ دے سکیں۔ شکریہ، جزاک اللہ۔
Thank you, Dr. Nadeem, for your very motivating and inspiring words. I think it's like a wake-up call for the younger generation and the students today and the teachers tomorrow. Now I request Dr. Nadeem Tareen to present a copy of the updated centenary volume of the Duty Society to the Chief Guest. This was prepared under the guidance of an advisory committee chaired by the Vice Chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University, Lieutenant General retired Zamiruddin Shah, and comprising few distinguished professors. We also present a memento as a token of appreciation. At this moment, we will also present the book to few alumni of the Aligarh Muslim University. Dr. Jaspal Singh, Vice Chancellor, Punjabi University, Patiala; Professor Talat Ahmed, Vice Chancellor, Jamia Millia Islamia University; Dr. S. Siraj Hassan, former Director and now Distinguished Professor, Indian Institute of Astrophysics, Bangalore; Professor Majaz Muniz, Director, Stroke Prevention Center, Massachusetts, USA. Thank you, everyone. We are honored to have with us the Honorable Vice President of India, Mr. Muhammad Hamid Ansari, as the chief guest of this function. You may find his detailed biodata and services rendered by him in the circulated brochure. I request him to address the audience, please.
Dr. Nadeem Tareen Sahab, Professor Abul Hasan Siddiqui Sahab, Dr. Gupta, Chancellor, Sharda University, fellow Aligharians, past and present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I accepted Nadeem Tareen Sahab's invitation almost absent-mindedly, thinking it related to the release of a book on the Duty Society. I had no idea of having to speak in a seminar on a serious theme. Be that as it may, I am here to share my random thoughts with an audience, many of whom know more about the subject than I do. It goes without saying that the base of the educational structure is the school education, beginning with elementary education. This is particularly relevant to the subject matter of today's discussion. Allow me to mention a few harsh realities relating to it. 1. Answering a question in the Rajya Sabha on the 10th of March this year, the Minister of HRD said that in the year 2014, some 6.064 million children remained out of school. Of these, a massive 4.6 million, or 76%, belong to scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and religious minorities. 2. The recent report of the Committee for the Evolution of the New Education Policy set up by the HRD Ministry states that the gross enrollment ratio in elementary education is satisfactorily high. But the quality in terms of learning outcomes is undeniably poor. It cites as evidence the ASER 2014 report. One of the causes for it, it states, is teacher absenteeism estimated at over 25% every day. 3. Another document made public by the HRD Ministry recently states that though India has made significant progress in terms of enhancing access to and participation in all levels of education, the overall picture of educational development in the country is mixed, and there are many persistent concerns and challenges relating to the access to and participation in education, quality of the education imparted, equity in education, system efficiency, governance and management, research and development, and financial commitment to education development. 4. Despite all the government and societal efforts, the overall literacy rate in the year 2011 was 73%, with a noticeable gap between the male literacy at 80.9% and female literacy at 64.8%. And 5, if the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and religious minority children comprise 76% of those out of school, the levels of literacy amongst them cannot but be reflective of this state of affairs. In regard to the largest religious minority children, the 2006 Sachar Committee report had observed that only 17% of them above the age of 17 were found to have completed matriculation, as compared to the general average of 26%. Another report in the year 2013 found that the level of matriculation education amongst Muslims, both in rural and urban areas, is lower than even scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. This is also evident in higher education. This then is the challenge. It also means that despite initiatives of successive governments, the corrective in its totality cannot come from the government alone and has to be supported and supplemented by public and community initiatives. Excellent examples of the latter are to be found all over the country. The lament is that it is sporadic, patchy, and very unevenly spread geographically and community-wise. This lack of community effort is particularly noticeable amongst the Muslims. In 2014, the then chairman of the National Commission for Minority Education Institutions had observed, and I quote him, that in South India, the Muslim community has established centers of excellence. But in North India, they cannot even maintain educational institutions established by their forefathers. End of quote. Surely the good examples can be emulated and instances of inaction overcome. In today's India, in which the operative slogan is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, educational progress starting with quality elementary, secondary and skill education is imperative if all segments of society have to be together on the starting line. Friends, the preamble of our Constitution and its sections on fundamental rights and directive principles represent a national consensus on the type of society which we as citizens wish to create. These, in a nutshell, stipulate a society based on the principles of secularism, socialism and democracy, seeking social, economic justice, providing for liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and opportunity, and based on fraternity, assuring the dignity of individuals and unity of nation. These lofty ideals are realizable only through equality of status and opportunity, which in turn are contingent on an educated citizen body. We would do well to recall Nelson Mandela's observation that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. The power of education extends beyond the development of skills we need for economic success. It contributes to nation building and growth of an egalitarian society. Education means more than acquiring knowledge. It empowers people to develop personally and become politically active. It is the fundamental precondition for political development, democracy, and social justice. It was for this purpose that the Constitution was amended to insert a new Article 21A, which made elementary education a fundamental right. Recognizing that large sections of our population have been disadvantaged due to a long history of social, economic, and political discrimination, we also adopted a policy of positive discrimination or affirmative action by reserving seats in educational institutions for the socially and economically weaker segments. Furthermore, the fundamental right under Article 30 of religious and linguistic minorities to establish and administer educational institutions of this choice has to be viewed in this context. Many minorities have benefited from it. Can the same be said of segments of this audience? A century back, Allama Iqbal had summed up the requirement. इस दौर में तालीम है अमराज मिल्लत की दवा है खून फासिद के लिए तालीम मिसले निश्तर. The requirement is to go beyond guftar. A need of the hour is a corrective step with all the energy and intensity that can be mustered. This must be focused not only on the well-to-do, but principally on the poor, who constitute the overwhelming majority. I thank the AMU's Duty Society for inviting me. I do hope that this seminar will bring forth a targeted action program for the education of the weaker sections of our society. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us on many aspects and realities of education in India. I am sure Duty Society will take a cue from this and render better and more services in future towards this direction. Thank you once again, sir. Now I call upon Nuriza to conduct further proceedings.
Good evening to all present here. I am feeling very fortunate to get a chance to introduce Mr. P.K. Gupta, Chancellor, Sharda University. He is leading educational reformer. He established SGI in 1996, and in this span of 20 years, he raised the group to a new heights with more than 20,000 students and 40,000 alumni. He has conferred with Udyog Ratan Award and Uttar Pradesh Ratan Award. With a small Urdu sher, I would like to cover his journey till now. मैं अकेला ही चला था जानिबे मंजिल मगर, मैं अकेला ही चला था जानिबे मंजिल मगर, लोग साथ आते गए और कारवां बनता गया. Now I'd like to request Mr. P.K. Gupta, Chancellor, Sharda University, for vote of thanks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and it is indeed an honor for me for inviting me as a speaker, to speak about the vote of thanks. Well, I would like to extend our hearty gratitude to Honorable Mr. Hamid Ansari, Vice President of India, Mr. Nadeen Tareen, the President, Duty Society, Keeper Duty Society, Professor A.S. Siddiqui, and VCAMU. I am delighted to be present at the 125th anniversary of the Duty Society. I am happy to learn the seminar on an interesting theme has been organized in which several distinguished scholars are going to participate. And Sharda University is also encouraging the students and staff belonging to this category. And it is a focusing on certain emerging area in science and technology. Mr. Nadeem Tareem, and our Vice President has given a lot of new thoughts to this audience, to this gathering, to discuss and debate. And I'm sure that their enlightenment will definitely bring a lot of fruits, a lot of conclusion about the topic which is chosen with the current scenario. The statics, what our Honorable Vice President has given to this, in this table, in this dais, it is really shocking, and I would say that the minority institutions and the weaker sections need to be taken in consideration beyond the political, boundaries to uplift their, the academic standard, because we are in higher education, and what we see, the quality of the student which coming out from the school education is really very bad, and the aspirations to go very high, but the fundamentals are very weak. So it is really a great challenging job for everybody in this country that we have to improve this education. And I think the enlightenment by the Vice President of India, Dr. Hamid Ansari and Mr. Nadeem, will definitely bring some conclusion which will take a long way. And I am also quite excited about the history about the Duty Society around 125 years back. Some student has started and registered this society, and today we are just being here to take the society further away. Thank you very much for inviting me to say a word of thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite AMU team for Tarana, AMU Tarana.
चमन है मेरा चमन, मैं अपने चमन का बुलबुल हूँ। ये मेरा चमन है मेरा चमन, मैं अपने चमन का बुलबुल हूँ। सरशार निगाहे नरगिस हूँ, वाबस्ताए सुए सुम्बुल हूँ। मेरा चमन, ये मेरा चमन, ये मेरा चमन है मेरा चमन, मैं अपने चमन का बुलबुल हूँ। जोता के हरम में रोशन है, वो शमा यहाँ भी जलती है। इस दश्त के गोशे गोशे से एक जुए हयात उबलती है। ये दश्त जुनू दीवानों का, ये बज़्म वफा परवानों की। ये दश्त जुनू दीवानों का, ये बज़्म वफा परवानों की। ये शहर तरब रूमानों का, ये खुल्द बरी अरमानों की। फितरत ने सिखाई है हमको उफ्ताद यहाँ परवाज यहाँ, फितरत ने सिखाई है हमको उफ्ताद यहाँ परवाज यहाँ। गाए हैं वफा के गीत यहाँ,
छेड़ा है जुलू का साज यहाँ,
गाए हैं वफा के गीत यहाँ।
छेड़ा है जुलू का साज यहाँ।
ये मेरा चमन है मेरा चमन, मैं अपने चमन का बुलबुल हूँ। इस बज़्म में तेरे खींची है, इस बज़्म में सागर तोड़े हैं, इस बज़्म में आँख बिछाई है, इस बज़्म में दिल तक जोड़े हैं। हर शाम है शामे मिस्र यहाँ, हर शब है शबे शिराज यहाँ, हर शाम है शामे मिस्र यहाँ, हर शब है शबे शिराज यहाँ। है सारे जहाँ का सोज यहाँ, और सारे जहाँ का साज यहाँ। ज़र्रात का बोसा लेने को 100 बार झुका आकाश यहाँ, ज़र्रात का बोसा लेने को 100 बार झुका आकाश यहाँ। खुद आँख से हमने देखी है
बातिल की शिकस्त पाश यहाँ,
खुद आँख से हमने देखी है
बातिल की शिकस्त पाश यहाँ।
ये मेरा चमन है मेरा चमन, मैं अपने चमन का बुलबुल हूँ। ये मेरा चमन, ये मेरा चमन, ये मेरा चमन है मेरा चमन, मैं अपने चमन का बुलबुल हूँ। जो अब यहाँ से उठेगा वो सारे जहाँ पर बसेगा, हर दिल में रवा पर बसेगा, हर मोह यहाँ पर बसेगा, हर सर्व समन पर बरसेगा, हर दश्त दमन पर बरसेगा, खुद अपने चमन पर बरसेगा, पैरों के चमन पर बरसेगा, हर शहर तरफ पर गरजेगा, हर कसर तरफ पर कड़केगा। ये अब्र हमेशा बरसा है, ये अब्र हमेशा बरसेगा, ये अब्र हमेशा बरसा है, ये अब्र हमेशा बरसेगा, ये अब्र हमेशा बरसा है, ये अब्र हमेशा बरसेगा, बरसेगा बरसेगा बरसेगा।
थैंक यू सो मच। आप लोग अभी यहीं रहिएगा नेशनल एंथम के लिए। We conclude the session with national anthem. After national anthem, you all are invited for tea hosted by Sharda University at respective places, and then we will again reassemble here by 6:20 p.m. So now I'd like to request for the national anthem, please stand and join the
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलज तरंग। तब शुभ नामे जागे, तब शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तब जय गाथा।